Hey everybody, welcome to the Otherz podcast. I'm your host, Steve Penny. We've been away for what feels like years. I think under both of our eyes, it probably looks like we've been away for years as well. We're both quite tired, but I think Rafa a bit more tired than me. But how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm tired, man. No, but I'm okay, man. I'm okay. Yeah. Surviving.
That's like daddy life, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Daddy
good, man.
life
How are you?
and traveling internationally as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I did a sneaker event this weekend on Amsterdam. It was pretty cool. And I'm already back with my daddy business, my daddy
Can never escape
obligations. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I looked earlier. I think the last time we recorded was like the end of January or something, maybe.
No way,
Yeah.
bro.
Because I think after that, you went to Brazil for like a month
Yeah,
or something
true.
crazy, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we missed a few then, and then you were back, and then you had some work stuff, and then I think I had some work stuff, and then yeah, just getting all matched up. It's been a while.
Damn, man. I thought it was like, I don't know, 2 months.
Yeah, time has flown.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get back to it. Let's try and record at least a few episodes before we both then disappear for the summer for about 2 months as well.
Yeah, true. Let's do it.
All right, man. So there's lots of news to come later. Obviously, we've missed a bunch of stuff over the last few months. We won't go through absolutely everything, but I'll try and pick out some of the key bits and pieces that have been talked about in the last few months. There's stuff that I've literally just thought of that I don't have on the list. So I'm going to add them now as we actually talk about stuff. And hopefully we will cover everything. But yeah, this week we are going to talk about a track. We're not just going to go through all the new stuff as we've done the last couple of times. Going to get back to our roots. Going for I thought in my head, this song's really, really recent. Yeah, it happened not long ago at all. It's a very, very new one. And then I looked at the release date and I was like, oh my God, like it's like 4 or 5 years ago.
Same.
And that feels like that, thinking about it in terms of 4 or 5 years, that feels like ages ago now.
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened with the system, with the matrix after the pandemic, but it's too damn long and it was
Time
too
is
so
messed up
damn
for
fast.
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, the track we are talking about was released on the 10th of June, 2022. And it is Pharrell's, we have to call it Pharrell's because it is technically his song, Cash In, Cash Out.
Cash in, cash.
Oh, we call it Pharrell's, although he does not feature on the song. There is a good story behind that, which we will get into in a moment. We'll do some of the obligatory statistics and numbers. 34 million YouTube views. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, only peaked at number 26 on the US Billboard chart, although it did get to number 5 in the Hot R&B Hip Hop chart.
That's
A little
good.
bit better. Since it's been released over time, it has gone platinum in the US at least. So that means 100 million. 100 million? God, that's a lot. 1 million units or sales shifted. Yeah, it's not performed too badly. I would have expected it to have charted a little bit better, seeing as it did have quite a bit of promotion behind it at the time. I sort of feel it was sort of popping up all over the place, especially sort of Instagram and TikTok and places like that.
Yeah, true. But actually, like, why you're saying these numbers, like, I'm surprised because for me, I always thought that this song flopped in somehow.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess only reaching sort of 26 on the charts sort of goes to show it wasn't a spectacular hit.
Yeah, but it's not that.
No, I like it as a song. I very much do like it.
Yeah.
I would have expected it to have performed better. I don't know what was out around the sort of same time. I guess maybe from a promotional perspective, they didn't go down the sort of usual route. I know there were like a few interviews that they did. They performed it at Something in the Water as well. And then, like I say, it was vaguely remember it being on sort of, Instagram and TikTok a bit, but no massive publicity push behind it.
It wasn't. And in the performance in Something in the Water festival, it was trash. Like
We'll get
Tyler
to that.
was
It was not
okay.
good. Yeah, that's in my notes. We'll get to that definitely. A bit of background on the track, because I think it's quite a sort of interesting story about how it came about. And I'm going to look off camera now and sort of read from my notes so I remember it. So the track originally came from a Pharrell and 21 Savage studio session where they were doing a few different tracks together. At some point, the track was played to Tyler, who then asked for an instrumental of it. And a little while later, he sent a voice recording of his verse back to Pharrell, and Pharrell ended up and then subsequently to that, it didn't end up on the 21 Savage project. Pharrell decided to keep it for himself, basically. From my understanding, it was going to be part of the Friends project that we never saw. That's Friends with a PH, where Pharrell would be collaborating with lots of other artists, similar to the Neptune's Clones album, basically. So this was meant to be the kind of precursor to that, and obviously we never saw that Friends album either, which is maybe why they didn't put as much into promoting this. There was a GQ interview that spoke to, I think, Tyler and Pharrell. There's a couple of little quotes here that I was going to sort of read out. So Tyler says, GQ says, eventually he texted Williams and asked him to send him an instrumental version. Tyler says he sent a voice memo back containing his verse within about 3 days. And this is after I think he says elsewhere in the interview, he'd done loads and loads of versions of it and loads of takes of it. And he says, Pharrell FaceTimed me instantly, just with his fucking weird face on. He didn't even say anything, and then he just hung the fuck up. And that's Tyler says that's how he knew he was going to be on the track. The verse, was at the right level.
Yeah, that's typically for
just to ring someone up and just have that scrunched up face that he does, and
yeah,
just hang up.
That's
as
cool.
if to say wow, amazing. And then as part of the GQ interview as well, it also says, this is from the guy that was the lead CGI animation guy on the video. He says all three artists made videos of themselves performing their verses so that the CGI team could mimic their mannerisms. Now that's interesting to me because Pharrell does not have a verse on this song, but he says all three artists made videos and performed their verses. So that says to me there is a lost Pharrell version out there somewhere that we will probably never get to see or hear, but that would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's probably true. I mean, the parts that Pharrell appears on the video, maybe they use it for dance moves, and sometimes he lip syncing the chorus. So maybe it was for that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I thought they would have got him to rap over the other verses.
Yeah,
I don't know. The quote specifically says they all performed their own verses, so it just makes me think that maybe there is a Pharrell part out there that didn't get incorporated into the final version.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if anyone else knows anything about that, then please reach out and let us know.
Yeah, please.
And then, so obviously the video itself, I think the video, while the song I like, the song I think is good, the beat is good. 21 Savage, I'm not a 21 Savage fan. Couldn't name you one of his songs apart from this one, obviously. But it's a good track overall. But I think the video just goes above and beyond. And again, that's where I sort of think they maybe had an idea that they were going to put a lot of money into this because it was going to be the build up to this kind of Friends album. And then obviously the Friends album didn't happen, but they had a song, they had a video they just spent 2 years making. They obviously wasn't cheap to make it either. So they were just okay, we've got to put it out. We've got to do a couple of interviews. We've got to try and, get something from it. So that's kind of where they went with it. But in terms of the video, it's one of those videos I could just sit there and watch just over and over again, even with the sound off, because it's so visually, it's so amazing. There's so much going on in it, and it's so well, the CGI in it is so good and so well made.
Yeah, true. Yes, and so many details. Like sometimes in the beginning of the video, you can see details of the middle of the video and back and forth, like, and vice versa. Like, so amazing, man. So amazing. Like, it makes sense that I have so many views on YouTube, but it should be more, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right?
And for those that maybe haven't sort of seen the video, I recommend you go and check it out on YouTube. There's obviously a link in the show notes. But for some background, it's called a zoetrope style, like looping carousel thing that you used to see, I guess back in like 1800s or something at fairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago, even before us. That's how old it is. But they've done it all in CGI in this instance. But what I really liked about it was they've actually kind of filmed it and processed it as like 12 frames per second. So it has that kind of stop motion feel to it. So it looks like an original kind of zoetrope type thing. So, a real good like attention to detail. And again, I think that's probably pushed the cost of the video up quite a bit as well, doing it like that. And the fact it took, 2 years to put it all together and to make it. It was kind of a collaboration. So the visuals are directed by Electric Theatre Collective, Vision Paris, Francois Rousselet, I believe it is. So, a combination of a couple of different studios there collaborating on it to make it. But what they actually brought to life in that track and in that video was really, really excellent.
Yeah. I never seen anything like it. I don't recall like seeing another video like this. And it's so cool. And I recommend, like, if you never saw the video, like, watch like at least 5 times in a row. Like, it's amazing.
Even
And
I
paying
like
attention.
I went back and like watched it again recently just when I was putting the notes together for this. And just watching about this, always I'm like, oh, I didn't see that before. I didn't see that thing down there before. There's all these like little bits and pieces
Exactly.
that every time you watch it, you can like pick out these little tiny bits that really make it. And like I say, the attention to detail in it is just top notch, down to
Yeah.
like even I'll try and show some pictures in a minute of like little frames and little parts of it that I really like. But even at the time, the diamond almond shaped sunglasses that Pharrell was wearing,
Yeah.
those and just even every little sort of diamond. And then when he's got his feet out of the car window, he's got a pair of like NMDs on, I think, like that they
Yeah.
just released at the time. So just, every little detail was like really perfect on it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but and I'm not even sure if I'm right, but there's a part that Tyler is using pins on his cardigan or something. And maybe one of the
Oh,
pins
there's
is a
there's
Star
an
Trek
N.E.R.D.
hand.
one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's a Star Trek one. Yeah,
Yeah, right?
which
Yeah, man.
they actually released at BBC.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
sure they sent some to Tyler, and I think he was wearing it like in one outfit at some point. So
Yeah.
even like the little pins that he has, like just absolutely spot on. Yes.
Yeah, so cool, man. And I have so many parts that is my favorite, but you mentioned the part of Pharrell, like with his feet on outside of the window of the car, like he's throwing that also like Star Trek sign. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll go through some screenshots in a moment. Let's quickly just go back to that live performance because otherwise I'll end up forgetting about it.
Okay.
So that live performance at Something in the Water, it was, again, I watched it back the other day and like, it's just a shambles.
Man, you watch it again?
Well, yeah, I kind
so
of like
embarrassing.
had to and like unfortunately the embarrassment falls on one person out of the three really.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's poor little 21 Savage is just kind of completely lost up there on the stage.
Yeah.
I don't know like if his in-ear monitors weren't working or something, but he misses his cue to start. So he's just kind of stood there in silence. He's then just like not moving. And then like, Pharrell and Tyler kind of jump in to kind of like give him the kind of, nod to like, this is where you should be. Because obviously their monitors are working.
Yeah.
And then he seems to forget the lyrics after about 3 or 4 lines.
Yeah.
And he just kind of stops again. And then Pharrell has to start rapping his part again to get him back to the right place. And then for the rest of it, he's just kind of like stood there, just there's no energy. I don't know if he was just like, oh, fuck it, I fucked it up. Like, I'm done, and he didn't care anymore, or was just too embarrassed or whatever. But like, there's no energy to it. It's so just flat.
It
And
is.
he just kind of stands there. And then you compare that to like when it gets to the Tyler verse, and Tyler, as he always does, just goes mad.
Exactly.
And it's just high energy. He's fucking jumping off of stuff and like really giving it 100%. And then, yeah, he's got Pharrell. Pharrell's just chilling in the background, just cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
Exactly.
Just doing that basically. It's such a weird performance.
Yeah, and Pharrell could have done better also, but man, 21 is just horrible to see, man. Like, if you got me to choose to see my parents having sex and to watch 21 on that performance again, I don't know what I would choose, man, because it's embarrassing as this for real, man.
Like,
it's just horrible.
For me, it's up there with like, dude, we're going to Rio. It's like and everyone knows how much I really hate that.
No, dude, we're going to Rio, like, is awesome in comparison, man. Yeah, come on.
I don't think it's quite as bad as Dude, We're Going to Rio, because I know that once you get through that Tyler 21 part, the Tyler part's quite good and kind of redeems it a little bit.
Truly.
But for that first like 90 seconds or whatever it is, it's painful.
Yeah, and I think one thing that is, for me, was super disappointing, like, it was the expectations, because when I think they put out that they are going to perform together on the festival, and I was like, I was so excited because, like, oh, this is their chance to put out, I don't know, such a good performance, and this song is going to be super, I don't know, super hyped up because of the performance, right? Like, I was thinking, I was just imagining all they could have done on that stage with the song, you know? And I don't even think they rehearse or anything, you know? Like, you can see they, like, 21 is bad, but I don't think they were ever in the stage together before that.
No, I think Tyler has quite clearly rehearsed it because it's part of his whole set. And obviously he goes up on the stage, he jumps off, and there's like, you know, fireworks behind him and whatnot. So obviously he's done his work. I think Pharrell's just like, it's my festival, I just turn up and guest with certain people. And
yeah, truly.
Yeah, he doesn't have a verse, so he needs to just kind of, you know, just stand there and ad-lib and do the little hook bit occasionally. And then, like I say, I get the feeling that 21 probably didn't rehearse it, or not with them at least. And then I get the feeling, his like in-ear monitors weren't working or something, so he was just like completely lost. And obviously, once the track starts and nobody stops it and it just keeps going, and you're like, fuck, what am I doing? I'm lost. You know, there's no way to kind of get it back.
Yeah. And maybe, like, if you think about it also, like, Tyler is well known, a very good performer. So can you imagine, like, 21 would just got nervous because he was performing besides Tyler? Like, how can I match my energy with this guy? Like, so he got stuck in there, like, oh, he froze somehow. I will froze.
Yeah. I've not seen any of his other live performances, so I can't say what 21 Savage is like when he does live stuff. But he's been around for a fair while, so I'd like to think that he's like, you know, reasonably good at stuff like that, and reasonably sort of, you know, professional. Oh my God, I can't even speak now.
Yeah.
And kind of knows what he's doing on a stage and kind of how to do things. I'd like to think that, like, you know, he didn't freeze or anything like that. I do sort of assume and guess it was probably more of a technical issue than anything else. And he lost it. He knew he wasn't going to get it back. And it was just like, okay, like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
Yes. If there are any 21 Savage fans out there and, you know, you have seen him live, or whether that's in person or online or whatever it might be, is he normally like that? Is he normally that bad? Or is he normally quite good? I'd be intrigued, but not intrigued enough to actually go and watch anything myself.
I was thinking to say the same thing, man. There's no way.
I'm not Googling 21 Savage live and then sitting there and watching
videos
of him performing.
Yeah.
If somebody else, please feel free to reach out to me and tell me. I'll read a comment, but I won't watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, but I actually like some 2021 songs, and I like this verse. Like, it's a typically 21 Savage verse, especially that part that he said that she drink my keys. She's a bad babysitter. That was cool.
Yeah, not exactly highbrow rap, but yeah. I think
Yeah,
I had one line written down of his that I liked, and that was, you know, my method, I'ma turn your shirt red man, then send your ass how high. Obviously, Method Man, Red Man, how high
yeah.
reference there. But I don't know, yeah, how good he is normally or whether he even wrote that or whatever. But
Yeah, truly.
again, yeah, 21 Savage fans, let us know. Is he good? Is he not so good?
Actually, don't let us know. We don't care.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I'm not 18. I'm not going to go and listen to any of his stuff. So,
Yeah, we old, so
yeah.
don't bother.
Unless there's like a really good standout track that you really think someone has to listen to, send me a link and it has to be Apple Music and I might listen to it.
Yeah.
I won't promise anything, but yeah, if I'm bored one day, I may give him a listen.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about it because I said that I like the 21 Savage songs, but actually, the songs that I like is all features. Like he's featuring someone else's songs. Like the J. Cole one
Okay.
is pretty dope. The album with Drake is kind of cool. I like it.
I reckon I listened to about 2 or 3 tracks off of that because that was around the time when, you know, everything Drake was starting to
Yeah.
go a bit downhill, let's say. And I was just like, I can't be bothered. Can't be
Yeah.
bothered with it.
I remember listening to that project and saying like, I hate that I'm liking this.
Okay. I don't think I've listened to the last 2 or 3 or 4 Drake projects or albums. Yeah, I don't know. I hear Drake stuff nowadays in the background and it all sounds very samey.
Yeah, true. It is.
Yeah. Anyway, back to something positive.
Okay.
Tyler's verse.
My God, Jesus.
Tyler's verse is so good.
It
This
is.
is like, yeah, I'm not a Tyler fan like you're a Tyler fan. Yeah. I like Tyler. I listen to his stuff. I know you're a proper Tyler fan.
Yeah.
But in this, like, so much of it is so good. Like, he has so many different varied styles throughout the verse as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got like, I had a couple of like lines written down, but the first couple of bars are really good, especially where he's like over enunciating the R's in like furry hat and purring and yeah. And then what was the other one? And then I just like the fact he referenced a show that he turned down. He said, I got offered 2.5 mil for the last show. I declined because the stage didn't match my ethos.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a Tyler thing. And that I can imagine is 100% true as well. I can
True.
imagine somebody saying, here's 2.5 million to turn up for our festival, and him going like, okay, well, I need to build this and this on the stage, and them saying, you can't do that, and him going, all right, no, don't worry about it then. I'm out.
Exactly. Yeah. One thing about Tyler, like, I don't think he lies on songs. Like, I think it's all true, especially after Flower Boy, because before Flower Boy, like, he was inventing all these imaginary friends and words in his head and in his music. And after that, like, he got so personal. And I think that 100% is true. And it's such a
Yeah.
flex.
Oh, yeah, definitely as well. To be able to, yeah, say you just turned down 2.5 million because it just didn't feel right. Yeah, it couldn't give
Amazing.
you the show that you wanted to give. Yeah, pretty good. And that's obviously how much he's earning for a festival appearance. I assume it was a festival appearance.
Yeah.
You know, to be up there earning sort of 2.5 million a pop. That's not bad.
It is not. Like, I remember like 10 years ago, Drake was like also flexing about making $1 million for a festival. So like 2 million, 3 million for a festival appearance, like is a lot.
Yeah, and you think like Tyler's quite a festival kind of artist, isn't he? Like, yeah, his music fits well at music festivals, and every summer he seems to do quite a few of them, as well as obviously having his own festival as well. So, you know, you think if you spend a summer and if you do like 10 quite big festivals, obviously he's not going to get 2.5 million for every one of them, but you know, you could do like 10 dates across the summer and you could earn yourself 20 million or something. It's not
Yeah.
bad money. for 10 nights worth of work over the course of a summer.
Yeah. Like I remember when
Which
I saw him 3 years ago in Primavera Sound, like it was a festival. I mean, I was a little disappointed because it was only an hour concert, but he was tired, man. Like, you can see on the stage, like I was near, but there's no way you should be able to see how tired an artist is, and he was, man.
Yeah, I think when he does those like big kind of tours promoting his albums that he's done, like especially the last few albums, when he's done like massive world tours,
Back and forth.
like he's so energetic every single night at every single show. Like eventually it's going to get to you. Eventually you're just like, oh, I'm knackered. Like, and people are going to be able to see it, you know.
Yeah, true.
What else have we got? Let's maybe talk about some of the imagery and stuff like that.
Man, Juliana just sent me a photo of my baby sleeping by herself, and it's such a miracle.
We interrupt this podcast to bring you emotional daddy messages.
It is, man. Sorry, guys, but
Come on, get back on it. Get back on it. Look at the screen. Okay. There we go. There's the first one with Tyler sat in a car, I think, if I remember rightly, as it's kind of driving along. And again, you can see like this is a slightly different. Oh no, that does have like the little Star Trek one
true.
there, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and the flower and stuff. So yeah, that's one I sort of really like. And then we've got. Let me try and pull this one over.
Yes.
Then we've got this one, which I love.
Yeah,
and like again, like even you got the Adidas sneaker. Even you can see like in the sole of it, like the design that you get on the NMDs. And then obviously the Cactus Plant Flea Market socks, like just looks so good.
It is, man. Damn.
And then probably my second favorite one.
Yeah.
This one with the glasses. Now again, like attention to detail here. Human made cap with the the logo up there. The diamonds set into the glasses.
And then
that's what I was gonna say. You can see the reflection of the cash in the glasses. So there's like the reflection of a face on a note. And there's like the serial number of like a $100 bill.
Yeah.
Like so good.
It is
so good. What else have we got? We've got this one with 21 Savage as kind of a Hulk type figure where he's kind of jumping down over these trains that are going by while sort of Tyler is dancing there in the background. I think that's a really good one. And then the next one I've got, I don't know how many of these I put in here. This one I liked just with the car, the Cybertruck in the background.
Yeah.
Then Pharrell with the Korg, again, like the socks, the NMDs with like even the script, the writing on the front of the NMD and the laces, how they're laced up exactly. Like so good.
It is, man.
And then like the start of the Tyler verse where he's like walking, rapping to the camera. And then you've got like Pharrell on his BMX on the left there. Yeah. Again, like the detail in the sole of the shoe.
Yeah.
And then 21 Savage on his little motorbike.
And one thing that I also like about this party, like, is they are passing under some strippers' legs.
Well, it's as if you read my mind. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
they're
cool.
passing sort of between some strippers' legs, and you think, oh, sexy ladies in the video. That's going to be interesting. But wait, no.
It's still hot though.
Don't, mate.
Come on.
The stripper is in fact Tyler.
It is.
Genuinely quite disturbing, but quite funny.
It is.
And then my favourite bit of the video, and I made a GIF of this as well. I won't put it on now, but it's this Pharrell one where he's kind of running along and he's got these like Mickey Mouse hands on.
Yeah.
I really like this for some reason. It always makes me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, and this part is so good because they are like him and 2021, like they are kind of running on opposite sides. And Tyler is. Oh yeah.
There we go. So the next one, it cuts to this kind of wider shot where it shows Pharrell and then 21 Savage. They're actually running on top of like a rolled up carpet, I guess it is. And then Tyler is in the middle of the carpet spinning while rapping at the same time.
Yeah, man. Amazing.
So good. And then this one I really like as well. And it's Tyler just kind of climbing out of like an LV briefcase and then stepping over and going into like another one. And again, it just, like everything in it, it just loops, but there's like so many of them happening here.
Yeah, true.
It just looks really good.
Amazing.
I think I've got a few more that I like here, so we'll look at them quickly. Tyler on the Space Hopper.
Yeah.
It's just a really like nice, fun visual. And then the last one that I've got, we end on Pharrell on the BMX doing his kind of classic BMX tricks that he does.
Yeah. I mean, you put all the parts that I also loved, but I think the only part that I would add is the hand with the jewelry playing the piano while he's walking. Such a cool detail also, man.
Yeah. So that's our favorite parts of the video. If anyone out there has like different parts that they really like, or any other like little details we haven't talked about, again, like let us know what your favorite bits of the video are, because there's just so many really cool, really interesting bits to it that I think we could sit here and talk about this video forever. I could share my screen and we could play it and pick out every like little piece, but unfortunately we don't have the luxury of all that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our quick overview of Cash In, Cash Out. Is there anything else you want to bring up or go through?
No, man, I just, again, like 21 Savage on that performance. I hate you. You should have done better. The song deserves better. And that's it.
It did deserve better. I would like maybe one day to see them do it somewhere else at another gig or festival or something, and actually perform it with a bit of enthusiasm and actually, have some working in-ear monitors so they can come in at the right places and know what their lines are.
Yeah, truly.
We can, but
let's move on.
I don't know if we talked about the Grammys on our last show. I know we were talking about coming up to the Grammys and what our thoughts were. I don't think we did a show after the Grammys, though.
No.
So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but my memory is so bad. But we may as well mention it. The Clipse won a Grammy, just one, and they won it for Best Rap Performance, I should say, for Chains and Whips. Now, this annoys me because this was like one of those really shitty subcategories that was announced before the Grammys actually started. It wasn't even in the main event. I know they did the red carpet with Pharrell, and they're getting big congratulations, and obviously they were like really happy they'd won one, and they were talking about how kind of excited they were and thankful and everything. But like to just give them this one for Best Rap Performance when they were up for Best Rap Album, Best Album of the Year, and another one, like I think they did them dirty.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like how? And I think it was one of those moments that were like, let's just give them this.
It's like, we have to give them something, so we'll give them this one, and then we can keep all the other big artists happy in the bigger categories. Like, do you remember who won Best Rap Album?
No.
Kendrick?
Yeah. Right?
Might have been. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Like, I can maybe forgive that, but I really do think the Clipse album was like a minimum rap album of the year.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Because of and everything involving the album, not just the album, the videos, the rollout, and the performances.
The whole package.
Yeah, the whole package.
Yeah, it deserved more.
But it makes sense. It was for Kendrick. If it was for Kendrick, but I think
I don't really remember. But yeah, whoever won it, Clipse were robbed.
Yeah, 100%.
And I will put a link in the show notes to their Grammy performance as well that they did with Pharrell. Again, some interesting dance moves from Pharrell. He's got the little jellyfish thing going on recently. Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's like I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stop that. I know how bad that looks.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, just do
So
it, man.
Pharrell with his flares and his dad dancing, make a reappearance. But when you're winning a Grammy, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Pharrell also won a couple of other things recently. He won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. Again, I'll put a link in the show notes to kind of him receiving that. And there was also a Justin Timberlake tribute to Pharrell at the Grammys at the Black Music Collective.
Yeah.
Which I watched and was actually really, really good.
Yeah, well,
It was actually, Justin going through kind of, Neptune's and Pharrell catalogue, singing them back to Pharrell, who looked a little bit embarrassed at times.
yeah.
Everyone was kind of singing his songs back to him, but a little tribute to him. And then Pharrell also won the Global Songwriter Award at the Mobos. If you don't know what the Mobos are, they are a British music award ceremony, and it's music of Black origin. So it focuses on primarily Black artists or non-white artists, I should say. And he won, Global Songwriter. And that was presented to him by, who was it? Nile Rodgers and somebody else that I can't remember. But yeah, he gave a little speech and stuff like that. A link in the show notes. So it's been a very busy start to the year for Pharrell, collecting all of these awards.
He didn't get backlash for the speech, right? Because every time Pharrell speaks now, people got something to say on Twitter.
There was a speech just before that he gave that he got some stick for. And then at the Mobos, when he was giving his speech, he said, I'm going to go off script now. Recently, I gave another speech and people twisted it, and here's what I actually meant. So he kind of like corrected it a little bit. But yeah, I think he said in a previous speech something about like, don't ever stop working, keep, working hard, work all the time and all this. There was context around it. And obviously people took that as like Pharrell, the multimillionaire, is telling us all to work harder and like never stop grinding and all that. And like, no, he was saying like, if you have a job that you love, just keep doing it because it won't feel like work. It just feels like, a hobby, and you just love doing it and doesn't feel like work at all. Yeah. Anyway, you can watch the video and see his clarification of it. Where are we in the news? Star Trek is back. I know we did say that a few months ago when they announced a new music sort of publishing deal, but they have just released their first new artist. Mr. Mack Keane has released his album Wide Eyed. I wasn't really aware of Mack Keane previous to this. He has had a few albums out, and I have seen a few people I know mention that they've kind of followed him for a while, and he's really good. I did listen to the album. I had a quick sort of flick through it. Again, there'll be a link in the show notes to all the streaming platforms. I really liked it. It's an R&B album. It reminds me somewhat of like Robin Thicke. Cool. His music does sound very sort of Neptune's inspired, I guess, which is obviously probably one of the reasons why they've kind of gravitated to him and sort of signed him up. So yeah, this is the first album off of the new Star Trek record label.
Okay, I'm going to check it out.
I recommend it. It was a good album. It was a good listen.
Yeah.
What else have we had? The Goodtime Hotel that we've spoke about a few times in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
There are no more good times at the Goodtime Hotel.
Yeah.
It has defaulted on its hundreds of millions of dollars worth of loans and gone out of business. I bring this up just because I found it quite funny how it was being reported kind of, when I saw stories about it where the headline was like, Pharrell's hotel goes bankrupt. And obviously everything was focused on it being Pharrell's hotel, so much so that his team had to come out and release a statement and say, Pharrell's not had anything to do with this hotel for like 2 years. He's nothing to do with it at all anymore. He walked away from that ages ago. So please stop mentioning Pharrell.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously he was an early sort of investor in the hotel. He collaborated in terms of the design and the aesthetic of the hotel with the Miami-based developer. Is it Dave Grutman, I think his name is, that owns all the nightclubs and stuff out there. I think Dave Grutman still does co-own it, is still linked to it. So, it's on his watch that it's gone under. But yeah, Pharrell had nothing to do with it. But if you were looking at going to the Goodtime Hotel because it's, you thought it was Pharrell related or Pharrell co-owned or anything, then one, it isn't, and two, it's gone out of business. So unlucky. Don't go looking for it anymore.
Yeah, Pharrell pulled out in a good moment.
Yes, I guess he got out at a good time, definitely. Some retail stuff. Let's quickly talk about. We've had the BBC Spring and Ice Cream Spring 26 lookbooks out. Because we haven't recorded in so long, we've since then had the summer ones that have come out recently as well. We've missed so much. So there was a summer release, I think it was this week actually. For reference, we're recording this on the 13th of May. The spring lookbook, there wasn't too much in there in the spring releases that I was interested in. In the summer lookbook that just came out in the initial summer release, there's some quite nice stuff though. They have gone back to the leopard print that they've used a few times in previous years, which I'm not a big fan of. But there's some nice jackets. There's a new camo version. So, the hoodies with the Arch logo and the camo behind it looks quite nice. There's a few decent bits and pieces. So if you are on the lookout for some BBC and ice cream stuff, then check out the new collections.
There's a hoodie with a zip hoodie also that is like the logo right here on the chest. But I think it's the first time that I saw that they printed the logo like super big. It's almost go over the back. It was quite interesting. And I asked, and I think with myself, like, why is the first time that I'm seeing this? Like, it might be the first time that they do that. And most brands, like, they do that pretty quickly. Like, they stamp the big logo super huge on the chest. And I think it's the first time that I saw it.
Yeah. There was another zip up that I saw that has the standing astronaut on the front as well that I really liked. If that was just in normal hoodie version, I would have bought that immediately, but it was in the zip up version, and I'm not a big fan of like the zip up hoodies. So
yeah, me too.
I haven't copped anything yet, but there are a couple of bits that do look interesting.
True.
If you are looking to cop some BBC, I have some good news for you. I have complained multiple times on this podcast about the BBC US website, whereby if you're not in the US or Canada, if you go to the website, it just redirects you basically. So if you're in Europe, you go to the US website, it automatically kicks you to the EU website. You couldn't even go there to like read a blog or browse the products or anything. They have finally changed it. Oh my God. I only found this out by accident because I clicked on, round of applause, people at BBC e-commerce for listening at last. I clicked on like a blog link, I think, to look at something, and it actually let me go and read it. And I was like, oh, wow, it's keeping me on the site. This is good. I'll go and can I look at the products that are available? It let me look at the products. And then I noticed a couple of products I was looking at. It said, we can ship to Finland. And I was like, oh.
Look at that.
Obviously, I had to test this out. So I ordered some. So it seems if you are looking to order from BBC US, they will ship internationally now. But I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's only if they have the stock in the store. Because I ordered 4 items. 2 of them would only ship in the US, and those 2 shipped from a warehouse in New York. The 2 items that I could ship here to Finland both came from 7 Mercer Street, from the store itself. So I think that's just a logistics sort of thing they're working out by the looks of it. But if you go on the website, if you look at a product, it will tell you like whether you can add it to your basket or not. And if you can't, I think it also says like we can't ship to your location or something. So yeah, I managed to get a couple of products shipped here. Over to Finland cost me maybe 30 euros for like next day shipping as well, which is really good with DHL Express.
It is.
So, I ordered, let's say it was a Sunday night. I had it by lunchtime on Tuesday. So that's really good.
It is.
The US stuff I ordered, I've got a PO box in the US that I ship stuff to. So I had that shipped there. That was delivered within a few days. Then obviously be forwarded on to me. So yeah, if you want to check out the BBC US website now and you want to get some products that are there as well, at last you can go and check out the website.
Cool.
All right, what else? Adidas Originals Vario Flat Earther. These horrible, horrible looking shoes. So
Not for me.
another
It's
release
not for
from
us.
Adidas. No, it's not for us. No, it's for the kids. I know. But
Yeah.
I just really hate them. So these are kind of a super thin, super low profile shoe, which is obviously sort of very popular at the moment. Called the Flat Earther, not because of any conspiracy theories, as I saw some weird pages on Instagram posting about. Called the Flat Earther because it's so thin, it makes you feel grounded, makes you feel kind of, you know, part of the earth. You're flat on the earth. Yeah, like I say, not for me, not my kind of shoe. I saw a few people that got pairs and said like they weren't for them, but they thought they were really comfortable and they're going to use them as just like house shoes, basically, just to wear around the house. I think that's, you know, a really good use for them. But yeah, not ones that I'll be getting, but they came in a few different colorways. I think there were 4 initial colorways, but yeah, not ones that I'll be getting.
The sole is pretty cool. The soles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the design
like
of them does look, you know, does look good.
Yeah.
Again, let me perhaps see if I can bring up a image of them as we're talking about them. Bear with me. And let's see if I can share my screen and we can look at them. So yeah, there you go. They've got this quite cool sole. So that sort of 3-pointed part, you know, we've had that on other, I think on the NMDs, on some of them we had it. Then you've obviously got this kind of tire tread inspired one. I really like the Virginia parts.
Exactly.
In the middle there. They look really good. But yeah, this is...
Yeah, this one.
You've got like this part
like
as well.
It looks like
yeah.
a football. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be look like a sort of topographic map. So, you know, they're hills or pieces of land that are sort of, you know, rising up. Yeah, these aren't my sort of thing, but, you know.
Yeah.
Some people like them.
Exactly. I mean, in general, they look good, but on feet, like, it's not for me, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And then speaking of sneakers, Boardflips. We did previously mention Boardflips were back, and they were back in very limited numbers. They got a release at Complex Con. I think there was a raffle at BBC store, but we've had a more sort of general release since then. So all of the BBC stores had them available. A few boutiques in the US had them available, and Reebok.com also had them. We've had the 2 flavors, so the original kind of watermelon flavor, and then the pink lemonade version as well. We've also had out.
Yeah.
I take it you didn't get a pair?
No, but they look good, man.
I've always said, like, I don't like Boardflips. These have grown on me a bit, just because... But because the silhouette is not as big as it used to be. You know, they've toned it down a little bit. It's a little bit sleeker, a little bit sort of thinner. It's not like a really huge, big, chunky skate shoe that it used to be 20 years ago. It still is a chunky skate shoe, but not as big and as chunky. So these have grown on me. I didn't get a pair when they went live. I was like, nah, I'll give it a miss. I did go back later that day and thought, if they've got my size, I'll grab a pair. But they'd all sold out, so I didn't.
Okay. But I think I say in this podcast, it's on record, that let's see what Steve has to say about this in a couple of months. And here we are. I know you, man.
I still don't have a pair. And I don't think there's something I would wear either, to be honest. I like the pink lemonade ones because I like the kind of the color scheme of those better. They're a bit more kind of coherent. They're also like a really nice leather as well. I would probably, you know, they're $150, so they're not a bad price point. If a pair, you know, if they became available again and I had $150 sitting there, I might get a pair, but they would literally just go on the shelf behind me, I think, and they would just be on show. I'd get them just for the sake of getting them. I don't think I'd wear them.
Okay.
Again, I say this now.
But I mean,
who knows where I'll be in 6 months?
No, but I think they will look good on you, man. Because they are a little bit chunky, so I think it will look good on you. For real.
We'll see. You know, I have tried on the butter softs a few times, and the butter softs are even bigger.
Yeah.
And again, when we first saw them, we were like, no. But now I'm like, yeah. I need a pair. I still haven't bought a pair. I do keep trying them on. But yeah, that sort of chunkier silhouette has grown on me a little bit, I guess, just because I'm seeing it out there on feet a little bit more nowadays. But yeah, let's see. There's going to be loads more colorways of the board flips, just so people are aware. They're going to keep getting released.
Yeah,
with
hopefully.
Reebok. They are. I've been told. So yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities to get pairs in different colorways and stuff like that.
And Pink Lemonade, such a good name for a shoe. So cool, man.
Yeah, it's a nice name for a colorway, definitely. All right, so the last few bits of news, as we're talking about sneakers and new releases, let's quickly talk about Nigo's new exhibition in London that opened last week. With love from Japan at the London Design Museum. I will be going there at the start of July, but I have already got myself all the book and everything, so I don't want to carry that back from London. So for those interested, this is what some of the merch looks like. So there's the catalogue, loads of cool stuff in there, interviews and things that are in the exhibition. I also got the little tote bag collection you can get. So there is, bear with me, a nice tote bag.
Nice. So cool, man.
A nice key ring. There is also a fridge magnet, but that's already on my fridge. And a poster as well, which I think is really nice. So I'll get that
awesome.
framed at some point and put up on the wall.
Yeah.
With the catalogs, he did secretly sign 25 of them. Friend of the podcast, Joey Flood, managed to get a signed copy when he stopped by to grab a catalogue. I was very excited when mine turned up in the post, and I thought maybe I got one of the signed ones, so I was checking like every page, but no. No luck.
And one question. How was the signature?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Well, your friend didn't show you?
No, I haven't seen. No, he just said he got one.
Ah,
he got
okay.
one that was signed. I imagined it was
Okay.
the typical one that he does. I've got a signed book here somewhere by Nigo. He tends to use the same one, so I assume he just signed it as normal. Better than the fucking Pharrell ones, let's say, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Nigo signs stuff properly, but then he only does 25, so, he can take his time and do them properly.
Surely.
We also saw some other merch released for the event in collaboration with Nike. So there was a coach jacket, a t-shirt, and a beautiful, beautiful pair of Air Force Ones done kind of in the style of the original Nowhere store with the blue and white and branded with Last Orgy 2, which was, one of Nigo's kind of early ventures with his business partner. I didn't manage to get a pair of those. I tried. They were only available at the Design Museum, and I asked some friends in London to go and get me a pair. People were queuing the day before for these, so there was no chance of getting them. And they did go on sale on the Human Made website in Japan, which was like 4 a.m. my time, I think.
Dang, there's no way.
No, I woke up at like 6 and thought, I'll just check to see if there are. No, of course there weren't. They were all gone. So I did not get a pair. But I have been told there are more colorways coming.
Of course.
He is entered into like this kind of longer partnership with Nike now, and we are going to see more colorways, and supposedly they're going to be based on other projects that he's worked on sort of over the years. I think we should expect to see some, Bape type colorways, Bapester ones, maybe some that tie into BBC. I don't know, although BBC isn't heavily mentioned in the exhibition or in the kind of literature or anything. There are a few bits there from BBC, but not too much. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what other colorways he comes out with, and I will definitely be trying to get a pair at some point.
Me too, man. Yeah, me too, because when I saw the photos and videos of the exhibition, man, I was all smiles, man, because it took me back,
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff there.
Nigo, I'm a huge sneakerhead, and Nigo and Pharrell is to blame, It's because of them. It's because of the ice creams. It's because of the Bapes back on 2004, 2005. So just to see the new Air Force and how, if you know the story, like how everything's like a circle of life, like it makes sense that Nigos is designing some Air Force Ones now. And I can't wait to see how what is to come, you know, how he's going to do the future Air Force Ones in his signature.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really gutted that, yeah, obviously all of the initial merch, all the t-shirts and jackets like sold out immediately. I hope they release a few more because obviously the exhibition goes on until October or something, maybe towards the end of the year. So I'd like to hope that they do some more drops, but we'll see. If I manage to get anything when I'm over there, then obviously I will report back. It was also great, like on the press day just before it opened, seeing lots of people online that I kind of know getting to go to the event, getting invited along. Shout out to SneakerDenn, friend of the podcast,
Yes.
who was in there, got some of the first photos, had them all up online really quickly. He also briefly got to kind of meet Nigo outside afterwards. Nigo was kind of lurking around on that day, not saying an awful lot, but he was there. I know Den did have a theory that this Air Force One was kind of based off the M Encore one, because obviously in the Encore there's the backwards E that's a 3. Obviously there's the low 2 with the Nigo ones. The numbering looked in the font looked sort of very, very similar. When he was outside, he did ask him directly and did sort of show him on his phone and say, "Is this a reference to this?" Nigo did not say a word in English. Dan Doyle translated for him, and he just said, "No, it's not. No." That was it.
I
That's all
saw
he
that.
got.
Yeah. No, I was like looking forward to see what Nico was going to respond, because SneakerDenn, like, he posts just the moment, like just the photo of it. Of like, oh my god, like, can you imagine, like, if SneakerDenn is right? It's such a good journalism, you know.
Yeah, that's such a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was not inspired by the Names Encores, but it's still good journalism, man. Like, SneakerDenn is such
Definitely.
a nerd, man.
Yeah, and the fact he got to ask the question as well, you know, I don't know if he was hanging around there to try and grab him or he just happened to pass him. But yeah, managing to kind of ask the question. I would have hoped that Nigo would have like sort of said like, no, it's not, but you know, the font we used was used on this thing that I really like, or you know, he gave some indication where it's from, but he basically just went, no.
Nah.
And then, or whether that is in Japanese, I don't know. Sorry. And then Dan just kind of looked over and went, no.
Yeah.
But, you know, Den got to shoot his shot, as it were. So props for that.
Yeah.
And yes,
shout out to SneakerDenn, man.
Yes, shout out to SneakerDenn.
The way that he's adding so much for the sneaker culture right now is pretty cool to see.
It's amazing. And what I absolutely love, and obviously for people that don't know who SneakerDenn is, like we've done a podcast with him last year, so go and check that out. What I absolutely love is that I have the complete opposite taste in sneakers to what he does. Yeah, he likes all these kind of really obscure 90s, early 2000s type basketball shoes, as well as many others. But they're not the sort of thing that like resonates with me. But I love that we're really into completely different things. But I still follow him because his content is still so good. He's still putting so much out there. He's still at all the events. He's still collaborating with so many people out there. Like he got to do the limited Air Max 95 release last year with like Birmingham City. He's done a bunch of other stuff as well. Yeah, shout out SneakerDenn, still doing some great stuff. So if anyone else gets to go to the exhibition, if you're planning to go or you've been already, let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you copped anything, especially if you managed to get hold of some of those Air Force Ones. Now, we were speaking about cash in, cash out earlier, so it would be remiss of me not to mention the latest update in the Williams Hugo lawsuit.
Yeah.
More information was kind of provided earlier in the year since our last episode, where it's been claimed that Cash In, Cash Out was one of the tracks that Chad worked on and wasn't credited or paid for. There was also a number of other tracks from the I Know Nigo album, as well as at least one unreleased Kendrick track as well, where the lawsuit claims that he, provided significant input and wasn't credited, wasn't paid accordingly. The one thing I will just mention to this without going into it is there was a TikTok post from, I don't know if the guy, I think he's like a music lawyer or something, talking about it and kind of explaining the new details and stuff. If I can find the post, I'll put a link to it in the show notes. But what I did notice was underneath that post, Rob Walker commented and said something along the lines of, "There's two sides to every story," and that was it. Yeah, there's obviously something going on. There's obviously some back and forth going on at the moment. It's obviously clear that, Pharrell's team don't agree with what's in the lawsuit. So yeah, we're gonna have to. It's still playing out, and we're gonna have to see how it pans out.
Yeah, man. But I mean, with the information that we have now, it's looking pretty bad for Pharrell.
I wouldn't say that. I won't.
I'm not
say
saying
anything.
I'm not saying that Pharrell will lose. I'm just saying with the information, because since we are just having
From a
Shad
PR
side,
perspective, yeah,
it's looking bad,
yeah. I don't think he'll lose.
I don't think so. Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I won't go into it. I've been talking to people that know things, let's say. So yeah, we won't go into it anymore. I'm sure there'll be an update at some point soon, but yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out. Let's talk about some more new releases recently, and then we'll wrap things up.
Okay.
Despite all of Pharrell's awards and whatnot, he has been putting out some new music recently. So a couple of new tracks with T.I. There was one that came out about a month ago, 2 months ago, which I actually quite liked, at least the beat. I'm not a big T.I. fan.
Yeah.
The beat of it I really liked. The video is shot. It might be on Pharrell's Sunseeker. I'm not sure. I only watched the video once. And then there was another one that came out this week or last week, which I haven't listened to yet. I've only heard snippets. Yeah. So if you're a T.I. fan, check that out. Have you heard them? Have you listened to them?
Yeah, the first one I really, really, really like, and I have been spinning a little bit more. The new one, it's called Hen, and it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, T.I. is spitting, like, I like T.I., and his rap and flow is good, but the beat not so much. Like, it reminds me kind of like the last songs that the Pharrell produced for him. I don't even remember the name of the album. Like, I remember Pharrell produced like 5 or 6 songs, and most of them were trash. And I think this new one is kind of like, the sounds kind of makes me think about those. And it's good, but not that great.
Okay. And also some new music from Angelique Kidjo. I think I'm hopefully pronouncing that somewhat right. I believe she's an African artist. Brent played on these songs. He did guitar on these, friend of the podcast. I've listened to one of them. The others I haven't got around to yet. One of them featured, was it Future or somebody like that? And it was quite cool. I need to give it a proper listen at some point soon. I need to listen to the artist a little bit more. It's probably not the normal sort of thing I'd listen to. But yeah, it sounded okay. Sounded good.
Nice. I haven't checked it, man. Sorry.
Well, here's something you should check. Big new music.
Okay.
For all of you old N.E.R.D fans, and the new ones, but mainly the older ones, us I'm talking about, we have a new Spymob album coming out soon.
There's no way. Wow. Yes, so that's awesome, man.
Let me give you the details.
Okay.
The album will be available to purchase on the 2nd of June via BandCamp. So that's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? When it comes out on BandCamp, please go and buy it. This was completely self-funded by the Spymob guys. They've written, produced, recorded this album like all by themselves, basically. It's been mixed and mastered by people they've worked with previously, but all the kind of recording, production stuff they've done, they've self-funded it. So please make sure you go and buy it. There will be 3 singles that come out before the album is dropped. There'll be 1 single in June, 1 in July, 1 in August. And then the album will be available on streaming platforms on the 1st of September.
Okay, nice.
I've had this album for a few weeks already.
Ooh.
It's excellent.
Nice.
If you like the original Spymob stuff, you will love this. It's of the same ilk. It's very similar. It's really well written, really well produced. I won't say too much more about it because I want people to go and listen to it themselves when it comes out on BandCamp in a couple of weeks. I want people to purchase it. But I would say, if you're a Spymob fan from back in the day, or if you've kind of got into some of their stuff through listening to Pharrell, to the Neptunes, N.E.R.D, then go and purchase it. I don't know what the price will be. I don't imagine it's going to be an awful lot. I imagine you can just pay whatever the price is going to be for the album, download it all, and then it's obviously yours to keep. So yeah, please support the guys. And to kind of tie in with that, if you follow Spymob online, you will see that they're kind of posting a bit more. They're sort of posting, mainly Brent is posting, trying to post as much as possible from old performances and gigs and stuff like that. They did just release last week their unreleased video of Walking Under Green Leaves from 2000, 2001 or something. I believe it was on Star Trek. The video is actually directed by the Neistat brothers, one of which being Casey Neistat, the, world famous YouTuber who appears in the video as well a couple of times briefly. So again, there's a link in the show notes to that. So yeah, go and watch that. Keep your eyes peeled on their socials and their YouTube and stuff like that, because I know they've got a lot more stuff coming out soon. But again, just please support the album. Go and purchase it on the 2nd of June. You will not be disappointed. It's a really, really excellent album and a really good listen. And I'm not just saying that as, someone that knows them and someone that got the album early and stuff like that. It is genuinely a very good album. And at least 2 of them will join us on a future podcast in the coming months. Yes, that is all the news. I wanted to just wrap things up with just some recent purchases, because I've got one really, really nice one that I wanted to show off, which I think people will appreciate. Okay. But maybe let's start, if there's anything on your side.
Yeah, man. Let me just say, I think we should talk about the Rockstar video that just got
leaked.
Leaked.
It happened so late I didn't put it in the show notes. Yes, let's quickly talk about that. Hype Williams released the unreleased Rockstar video. Up until this point, there's only been 2 photos, I want to say, maybe 3 still photos from that video shoot of Pharrell and Shay kind of in their 60s suits with 60s dancers behind them.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe it was this week that Hype, in collaboration with somebody else who I think found the video somewhere or came across it somewhere in some archives, they posted most of it online. I prefer the video that did come out. Let's just put it that way.
I know, me too. 100%.
Give me your thoughts.
No, that's it. Like, I prefer the original one, but this one looks good too. I think that the part that is paying homage, like, for the, I don't know, like the Beatles and like a vintage footage of they are playing for a lot of girls screaming and all that. I think that part is my favorite. And when it comes to the future, and you can see the 3 of the guys in a car and the bikes over the car, like, is also good, but I don't think it contrasts very well with the other footage, but it still look good. Like, I will, if this one was the original, I would like it, but the original one,
if this unreleased one had come out, I'd be unhappy. I know it's a very rough cut.
Exactly.
Like, it even says that on the videotape, like, rough cut, like it wasn't finished. But yeah, I, like you, I found it too jarring, the 2 different things. So there's obviously, like you say, the one part where they're almost like the Beatles. It's very 60s-ish. It's in black and white. They're in front of a crowd of girls. Okay, interesting concept. But then when it cuts to them leaning on a car, I think Chad's in the sort of driver's seat, and there's a girl or 2 next to them, just sort of dancing a bit. Like, it just didn't match. And I can kind of see why this video didn't end up going anywhere. And the one thing I found so annoying, and again, this might have been something they aimed to edit in the final version, the sound of the crowd of girls screaming and cheering is in the background of the whole video, all of it, all the way through. And it is so annoying.
It is.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But great to see it after all these years. We do briefly see Eric as well playing the drums there.
Yeah, truly.
I think we maybe see Brent as somebody else that isn't Pharrell with a guitar, but you don't see them properly. It might be Brent, but you do see Eric a couple of times on the drums.
Yeah.
So yeah, good that it finally kind of came out. Luckily, we haven't been missing anything for the last 25 years.
Oh yeah, truly. Yeah. It's just super cool to see after all these years, you know. So cool. Like I would never imagine we will ever see this video. So
yeah,
it's good.
I genuinely think like
that,
it was lost. And I don't think it would have been put out unless somebody had recently kind of come across it and asked if it could be sort of published and put out.
Oh, I don't. Sorry, but I don't. But doesn't because I saw it so quickly, and I don't think I even read the post, like the caption of the post. But didn't the guy bought the tape?
Yeah, I think he came across it somewhere and purchased it or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But then it was released at the Instagram post was like this person with Hype Williams. Obviously, Hype has like given him the okay to put it out as long as he's marked as a collaborator.
Yeah.
On the post. Yeah, it had to get obviously got Hype Williams' blessing to be posted.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would have been mad pissed if like the video was really good. And if it was better than the one that we got, I'd have been like so mad.
Yeah, truly.
But I'm kind of glad that it wasn't all that. So yeah. But if you want to go and see it again, I'll try and remember to put a link in the show notes. You can just look it up. I think a number of people, including Not Too Busy Workshop, reposted it as well. So you can head over to his page as well. Yeah, and you can sort of see it on his page as well.
Shout out to Not Too Busy, man.
Yeah, man. I speak to him quite a bit. Shout out him. He's definitely an OG fan for sure.
100%.
All right. Last couple of bits then quickly. Purchases. Anything at your end while we've been away? Anything good?
Yes, man. Can I show you?
Ooh, yeah, of course.
This bad boy is still on the box. I'm not going to take it off, but...
Oh, here we go. Oh, what have we got here?
Yeah, the Alaskas,
still
man.
Wrapped?
Still wrapped, man. I don't have the courage. I'm 100% saying the truth. I just opened it once, just to look at it, took a few photos, and that's it. I didn't even put it on my feet.
What is it? I haven't seen your photos.
Yeah.
Are you not telling me?
No, what? No,
are you
what
not
is it?
Tell me. Yeah.
No, it's the Alaskas, the Jordan ones, and in collaboration with Virgil. I thought this because you saw the balls, you will realize.
Saw the box, I don't pay attention to boxes, no.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it is like the last collaboration between Jordan and Virgil, because it's not Off-White, it's just Virgil Archive, and it's the all-white Jordan ones. It's called the Alaskas.
And it's amazing. Get them from the raffle, or did you get them from somebody?
Yeah, it was a raffle on Soulbox. So basically, they put it on Instagram saying like, oh, it's going to be an in-store raffle. And okay, I'll go to the store. And I was there, and they were like, oh, so to participate in the raffle, you have to paint some sneakers. And I was like, okay, I got it. Like,
okay, I remember you posted about this, yeah.
Yeah. And so basically it was like a mock-up of the Jordan ones. And I did it like, I painted as in Brazil colors, and I put like in quotes on the sole, Joga Bonito, in a reference to football. And I got picked. And they wrote me after 3 days saying like, oh, you're one of the winners. Just come and buy your sneakers.
Give us your money. Thanks for putting all the effort in. Now we'd like some money as well.
There's one thing, like I was telling some of my people, I won a raffle, and they were like, what that even means? Like, what, like you won, but you have to pay for it? Like, like don't
I
ask.
won the opportunity to spend my own money on something. Thanks. Yeah, I did see these on the Sneakers app, and I knew they would be popular, but I didn't go for them. I was tempted, but I only would have resold them. I'm not a fan of like Jordan 1s. Yeah, classic shoe and everything, but I just don't wear them. So, if I'd have managed to get a pair, I would have, resold them. And I just thought, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
One, I don't want the hassle of reselling them. And two, I'd rather hope that somebody else that enters, that wants a pair gets a pair, as opposed to like an extra person being in the queue trying to buy them. But no, I have seen a lot of people annoyed that they didn't get pairs. So good work. Congratulations.
Yeah, truly. There was some of my friends, they were super pissed off about, including they were pissed off with some stores because they were saying like, oh, it's going to be a raffle, and there wasn't, and they go back. So no, it's going to be a raffle, but it's going to be in store, and they wrap it up, and so it was such a mess.
These were like proper hype ones. One of the biggest sort of hypes I've seen in sort of recent years. Again, because it is, officially a Virgil collaboration. So, so the hype was there. But when it sort of gets to a certain level, I feel all of these stores have got great ideas and it suddenly snowballs out of control and they get a bit stuck and a lot of people get very disappointed.
Yeah, of course.
But you did well.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And I also thought about reselling those, and I even told Juliana, I'm going to resell them, but if they go for, I don't know, $1,000, well, okay, I will do it. But just right now, it's just double the price. So I'm like, nah, I just keep it because it's a good piece of sneaker, Like, it's also
and
a
I
piece
think
of
the fact, with it being like an official Virgil thing as well, I think at some point, once they start doing more stuff with Virgil's actual work, not the Off-White stuff, actual proper Virgil collaborations again. And we get the exhibitions that are kind of coming out over the next sort of couple of years and stuff like that. I think the price of his things will go up anyway. They're probably worth keeping hold of, and just as sort of like a little investment. I don't think they'll ever be crazy money, but yeah, I think at some point, they might be worth sort of selling to make a few dollars.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Nice. Any other bits?
No, I think this is the most special one. So I don't think I don't even remember if I purchased any other thing. So that was it. How about you?
Okay. A few bits for me. I'll mention just the main ones. So in terms of sneakers, Air Max 95 pack Hong Kong. I don't have them here. They're out in the hallway. These were just sat on sneakers here in Finland. Weird. They were sat there for ages. So in the end, I was like, I'm going to grab a pair because I really like them. So I'll try and put an image overlay on this in the video, in the edit, and in the show notes and stuff. So there's sort of there was a pack of, 3 or 4 cities with different colorways that they put out recently. The Hong Kong one was kind of mainly red, which I really like, with sort of little neon green bits and different textures and stuff like that. So I thought they were really cool. So I grabbed those. I got a pair of the Air Max 95 Neons that were recently re-released again. I've never owned a pair of 95 Neons. So I thought, like, it's a classic pair you've got to have. I grabbed a pair of those. Last week, I got a pair of Jordan 4 Toro Bravos. So the kind of almost all red Jordan 4s. Again, they're a colorway that I've wanted for quite a few years and never got around to sort of getting a pair. So they were good. Clipse merch. I bought a bunch of Clipse merch. So they did a release for Hell Hath No Fury.
Oh, I saw that.
And they did a graphic collaboration with BBC. So I grabbed a couple of T-shirts, a vinyl, and a hoodie, I think it was. And then the one piece that people here will actually care about, I don't know if I posted this online yet. I think I must have done at some point. But OG.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, you posted.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Swarovski, BBC Arch logo
cool,
T-shirt. Obviously, you can't really see it sort of shining because it's in a plastic bag. But yeah, this is not my size. I think this is like a medium or a large. But it was just one where, I had the opportunity. All right, you could squeeze into it, I reckon, yeah. Let's see if you're a good boy for your birthday, maybe. I had the opportunity to buy it, and it's just one of those kind of like OG kind of grail pieces that like I've got the opportunity to get it, so I just want to get it and have it as part of the collection.
What year? What year is 05?
3, I want to say, because it would have been season 2.
0?
No, not season 0. No, I think there was season 2, the Swarovski one started.
So it's not 03. It cannot be.
But I don't know, roughly around there, 2002, 2003.
Yeah, because 03 was when they launched the brand.
It may be 04 then, yeah. I don't know, I'm terrible with years and dates. Somewhere at the beginning, Yes, so that's my, again, for
amazing, man.
There we go. And then while we're talking about BBC things that we've recently got, quite a few people have asked me about this on Instagram and commented on the photos and stuff like that. So I may as well spend 5 minutes talking about it so I can point people to the podcast. And that is, I got my arm coloured in.
Amazing, man.
Now, obviously, if you're watching the video, it's upside down and all that. I'll try and add some proper pictures. But this is an idea I've had in my head for like 15, 20 years. The Starfield pattern on my arm, basically. I've mentioned on this podcast a million times how I love that Starfield pattern. Anything that BBC release in that Starfield pattern, I will buy it, basically. So I've had this idea for ages. Eventually, recently a new tattooist opened near where I live. I thought this is a good opportunity. I'll go see what they're like. They were really good, had some really good conversations with them. So I thought, I'm going to go for it. But I need to kind of add some bits to it. I can't just have the Starfield pattern. So we started with some, BBC stuff. And this isn't, I've kind of should make this clear. This isn't like a BBC tattoo. I haven't got this because of my sheer love of BBC, although I do collect it and do still buy it. I don't buy that much of it. This is more to do with like that era of the early 2000s when BBC was coming out, when we were all on the Star Trek forums, when we were, I was going to N.E.R.D gigs all the time, when I got to meet so many people from those forums and from those gigs, and that went into like collecting ice creams and sneakers, and and I ended up meeting Rafa, meeting loads of other amazing people. That's kind of what it's all led to, and led to this podcast. So it's more to do with the whole kind of memory of all of that and the journey that it's been over the last sort of 25 years or whatever it's been. So, but there are a lot of BBC kind of things on here, which looks like it is just branding. But I'll try and sort of show you this on my arm. You've got obviously the standing astronaut. Annoyingly, I have a mole right where his thumb is meant to be, but you can't really notice it too badly. There's then, the astronaut face in the stars there, which was done really well. And then
amazing work.
This graphic that I've always loved, the BBC rocket ship. Again, anything that appears on, I will go out and buy because I love it. So I had those done, and then I had ideas for the other part. So then I had my N.E.R.D thing redone because that had faded from when I had it done 20 odd years ago. And then I had this big gap here. So again, it's upside down. I apologize. But obviously it's the ice cream cone man in like the original colorway, which again, I just love. I love that watermelon type colorway, the pink and the green. Had that. We've got the planet Neptune.
Amazing,
obviously.
Man.
We have the neon Star Trek logo. And then I had a space up here, and it's on the elbow. I knew it was going to be painful, so I didn't just want it filled in with more stars. So again, we looked at designs, and I thought, well, if I've got Neptune there, why don't I get something kind of in search of Spymob kind of related there? Because, again, we've talked about Spymob, a couple of the guys, I'd like to call sort of friends. So I thought, let's have something there because they've played a big part in my favorite album and all this music. So this is like, obviously it's backwards and upside down, an S and F for Spymob. This was a graphic that was actually designed by some of the guys that were working on the early BBC stuff and worked on the Star Trek website. So, you will see this in other places, but this was used on some of their material on their records and CDs and stuff. And obviously it's a satellite, so it fits in with this kind of space theme. So I thought I'll get that and I'll have it circling the planet Neptune there.
Nice.
Obviously, it ended up a little bit bigger than I expected it to be, but the space was there. Good. So, I left it to my artist, and I just said, go for it. So, yeah, it's probably actually the biggest piece amongst all of this, but it looks really cool. I'll try and add some proper pictures or the link to the Instagram post as well, and I need to go back to the tattooist, I think, next week and have proper photos taken as well. So I'll try and link to those maybe. But yes, that is a half sleeve. Neptune's N.E.R.D, BBC, Star Trek related.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Such a cool idea
and amazing work, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's had a lot of positive feedback so far. Now I've got to think about how I continue with the rest of the arm and what I do with it and whether this continues or it changes. I've got some ideas, so we'll see. But obviously, it does cost a small fortune and does take quite a long time to get done. That was 25 hours of quite a lot of pain. Yeah. So that wasn't particularly fun having that done. But yes, there you go. For the people that asked about it, that's the reasoning behind it. And that is a look at it as well. And then, yes, there will be probably more to come.
Cool.
And with that, I think that's everything at last.
Okay.
That went on for a while. We had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But we've been away for a while, so we've got a good excuse.
Yeah, truly.
Hopefully we will not be away for quite so long until the next episode. Let's see how our schedules line up and how Daddy Daycare is doing over there in Barcelona.
Yeah.
We'll try and work something out for sure. But in the meantime, if you want to find out how to subscribe to the podcast, where to watch us, how to follow us, all those sorts of things, you can head over to the website, theothers.net. There you'll also find all the show notes that I've talked about. You can also view them in your podcast app of choice if you are using a good podcast app. You can find me online at Steve R. Penny, and you can find Rafa online at SneakerDenn2.
Exactly.
But that is it for this episode, and we will speak to you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.